Hello and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another video. If you are new to this channel, my name is Frank Zhu, and I'm a college professor teaching sociology, history and philosophy. I'm also an award-winning landscape photographer. Ever since the first human society came into being, all societies have evolved. The society we live in today is fundamentally different from what people lived in hundreds of years, thousands of years, or even millions of years ago. For a better understanding of the development of societies over such a long period of time, historians, philosophers, and social scientists have proposed many theories. According to some theories, different types of societies emerged, which can be generally classified into several categories. One theory, for example, makes the classification based on the dominant modes of subsistence or technological advancements of a particular type of society. To put it another way, according to this theory, societies have gone through different stages, each of which was defined based on how people made a living, how goods and services were made, how complex the social structure was, and what level of technology existed. In today's video, I'm going to use this theory to explain how human societies have evolved through 4 stages since the very beginning up to the present. The first stage in the development of human societies is what we call hunting and gathering societies. Although we are not sure exactly when hunting and gathering societies emerged, archaeological evidence shows that active hunting and gathering dates back over 2 million years ago. People in those communities sustained themselves by gathering wild plants, fruits, and hunting various types of animals. Hence, the hunting and gathering society. The nature of gathering meant that they had to keep moving in order to find places where plants were plentiful. The nature of hunting also determined that their lifestyle was nomadic, because they had to follow animals, which, as we know, migrate all year round. The tools they used for obtaining food were rudimentary, made from stone and other simple materials. People lived in caves in small groups. The concept of family as we understand it today probably did not exist. Children were taken care of by everyone in the group. Every able adult participated in gathering and hunting. Decisions were made by consensus rather than by a single leader. The social structure in those communities was egalitarian in nature because food was always shared among the group, and there was no surplus of food for anyone. Thus, there was no private property. Everyone was equal to everyone else. In fact, it is because of this equality and the lack of private property that the famous German philosopher Karl Marx called this type of societies primitive communism. While most hunting and gathering societies were replaced by other types of societies, a few continue to exist until now, such as some tribes in Africa, although they have been adapting to modern environments. The hunting and gathering form of human society remained the dominant way of life for the vast majority of human history until the so-called agricultural revolution, which took place around 10,000 to 9,000 years ago. The agricultural revolution, which was marked by the domestication of animals and plants, changed everything forever. With the ability and skills to raise animals by themselves, Human beings no longer had to follow animals for food. As a result, people could settle down and build their permanent houses instead of living in caves. The family became the basic unit of food production. Land ownership emerged and became a source of wealth and power. The concept of private property appeared. As sources of food became larger and more stable, population grew rapidly. What used to be a village now turned into a city. The city life was obviously much more complicated. An advanced and complex form of social organization such as a government was necessary and set up to run the city and deal with all kinds of issues. Besides, as it became relatively easier to produce food, not all people were needed for the production of food. Some people, therefore, chose to do other types of jobs, such as blacksmith or carpentry. So, the division of labor emerged, and so did social classes. Finally, which was the most important development in my opinion, a writing system was invented. Compared with oral communication, writing was a more effective way of communication over distance and time. It also helped with managing complex societies by tracking taxes, supplies, and laws, and so on and so forth. In a word, all of those changes marked the transition from hunting and gathering societies to agricultural societies and the beginning of a new era that we call the human civilization. The first true civilizations emerged between 4000 and 3000 BCE in regions such as Mesopotamia, Egypt, India, and China. Unlike the subsistence economy in a hunting and gathering society, the economy in an agricultural society was based on cultivation of land, crop production, and raising livestock. Nowadays, agricultural societies still exist in many parts of the world, particularly in Latin America, Africa, and some parts of Asia and the Middle East. If you look around and see large pieces of farmland around you, you are probably still living in an agricultural society. I should also point out that modern agriculture is different from what it used to be because it has incorporated many industrial practices and technology. In the long course of human history, agricultural societies stayed unchanged for about 3,000 years until the Industrial Revolution. As we know, the Industrial Revolution began with the invention of the steam engine in England in the mid-18th century and quickly spread to other parts of Western Europe and North America. Just as the Agricultural Revolution transformed hunting and gathering societies into agricultural societies, the Industrial Revolution transformed agricultural societies into industrial societies. Basically, two features characterize an industrial society. Number one, the use of machines in factories. And number two, factory workers operating the machines. Industrialization brought about fundamental changes. Different from agricultural societies where the economy was based on farming and land, the economy in industrial societies is driven by manufacturing and industry, with mass production of goods in factories. Large numbers of farmers moved into big cities and became factory workers. The new wage-based economy now relied on a highly differentiated labor force and the intensive use of capital and technology. Productivity increased greatly. These changes led to big changes in social structure as well. Complex social hierarchies appeared with new social classes such as capitalists and working class. Social institutions witnessed rapid changes as well, such as the appearance of the nuclear family and the changed roles of women and children, and state-run education. Living conditions greatly improved, which was accompanied by more social conflicts. In some very highly industrialized countries, such as Western Europe and North America, the industrial society stayed for only about 200 years and has been replaced by what we call post-industrial society. Unlike industrial societies which rely on the mass production of goods by machines in factories, post-industrial societies depend on the production and distribution of services, information, and knowledge. In post-industrial societies, machines and workers are no longer the main features. Instead, technology plays a vital role in the social organization of society. The economy's focus shifts from manufacturing tangible products to offering intangible services. Manufacturing is replaced with finance, healthcare, education, and information technology. Knowledge and information become the most valuable forms of capital for economic growth. Post-industrial societies are also characterized by innovation and application of technology, reduced manual labor, and globalized economy. Nowadays, many highly developed countries in Western Europe and North America are post-industrial societies. Japan is also a post-industrial society. In some big cities of China, post-industrial society has also emerged, whereas the rest of the country is still considered as an industrial society. To sum up, human societies have evolved greatly over time, changing from small nomadic groups to large, complex societies. Such evolution can be understood by examining how people made a living, what kind of social structure existed, how goods were produced, and what level of technology there was. Based on such examinations, human societies can be classified into 4 stages, each stage having its distinct features and characteristics. However, some social scientists, including myself, are already predicting the future. What kind of societies lie ahead of us? A robotic society? An AI society? What do you think? Please share your opinions in the comments below. But before I go, let me emphasize that human societies have been diverse and complex throughout history. Societies were different in different places at different times, and the paces at which they evolved were also different. The stages which I have just talked about in this video are only based on a theoretical framework and don't necessarily reflect a perfectly linear or universal progression for all societies everywhere. Also, there are theories which classify societies based on completely different criteria. Auguste Comte, for example, argued that human societies evolved through 3 successive stages based on the human intellectual development. Karl Marx's theory, which identified distinct stages of society development, was based on what is known as historical materialism. Anyway, as I said at the beginning, different theories or frameworks serve one purpose, and that is, they provide us with a perspective with which we can better understand the development of human societies. Well, that is all that I wanted to talk about in today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.